Hey everybody, Mr. Dan here back again, and today I'd like to take a look at this In the Line of Duty box set, which contains 4 films, a booklet, and a poster, and some of the films are loosely connected to each other, with some of the same actors and actresses playing different parts. I believe Part 3 and Part 4 are more consistent, but the first one, Royal Warriors, stars Michelle Yeoh, or Michael Wong there, Michelle Yeoh, and Hiroyuki Sanada. And let's take a look at the back. I wasn't really familiar with Michael Wong that much, but he was very good. The 3 main leads made a really good team in that one. And then the second film in the series is called Yes, Madam, with Cynthia Rothrock and Michelle Yeoh, who have worked together before. This was a very solid one. Really good action scenes, as you can imagine. And the third one, In the Line of Duty 3, stars Cynthia Khan, who I believe also plays the same character in the 4th one, which is something I'll confirm down the line here when I get to those films. There's the back. Let's take a look at the inside. Curious to check this one out. And then the 4th one, In the Line of Duty 4. There's the Sammo Hung appears in this. I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4 that Donnie Yen is in, but he's in one of these. There's Michael Woods at the bottom. There's an interview with him in the booklet. And there you go. So let me reverse the cover art, and I'll be right back. And first, we'll just take a look at the booklet. There you see some of the interviews that they have with some of the production designers and second unit directors. It also lists all the different names that these films came under, which helps, and all of the cast members. It looks like it's Part 3 that Donnie Yen appears in. And you also have a lot of actors appearing in small roles in several of the films. All in all, a pretty good booklet, very colorful. Some of the printing was a little bit small for me to read. A little tough on my eyeballs, but let's take a look at the posters. 2 reversible posters. Here you see Royal Warriors. I like this one a lot. Very cool looking. Back, I guess this is like a reproduction of the original Hong Kong poster, I would suppose. And it's interesting, I've actually really grown to appreciate Hiroyuki Sanada, who also appeared in several of these films in the Sonny Chiba collection. He actually had some visa issues and then had to leave Hong Kong only to return to film some scenes later. Now here's a poster for the whole set. Very cool. Look at all those characters in there. There's Sammo Hung down there. It's cool. There's Donnie Yen. Very cool looking poster. And then on the back we have, oh, it's the poster for Yes, Madam. Very cool. One last thing, we'll just go ahead and reverse the cover art on all these covers, see what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like the other alternate cover art was more like the original cover art from the original releases. Pretty cool. Okay, and a couple days later, my voice is still not 100%, but we're gonna soldier on. Let's just do a real quick review of the first 2 films in this set, and then I'll do a separate review when I watch the last 2. The first film, Royal Warriors, a.k.a. Police Assassins, a.k.a. In the Line of Duty, 1986. Hong Kong, obviously. Really good cast. Michelle Yeoh is excellent in this film. She looks like just stunning. I mean, that's my personal opinion. But, and then you have Hiroyuki Sanada, who's known in the credits here as Henry, as Yamamoto, and then Michael Wong playing a character called Michael Wong. And then you've got some really good villains in this.
Let's just read the synopsis. I think that's the best thing.
So when CID officer Yip, played by Michelle Yeoh, a Japanese Interpol agent, played by Sanada, and a security guard, Michael Wong, foil an airplane hijacking attempt by a militia fanatic, his veteran friends vow revenge. In order to stop the terrorist attacks and also to save their own lives, the 3 heroes must team up once again to fight their gun-toting adversaries. So yeah, I mean, the Michael Wong character is more like an air marshal. So you have basically 3 different personalities that have to set aside their differences and team up to stop the bad guys. And with the Hiroyuki Sanada character, he's a little bit of a fish out of water since he's Japanese. So basically when they're on the plane, the Michael Wong character flirts a little bit with Michelle Yeoh. She's all professional. And then there's a mix-up with seats with Hiroyuki Sanada, and he's like Mr. Super Polite guy, but he's very taciturn. He wants to go back to Japan and patch things up with his wife. And then a horrible thing happens. Well, then they foil the kidnapping. Really good action sequence on the plane. And then, unfortunately, these mercenaries are really, like, dedicated to each other. And then, as the story goes on, we see some flashbacks to their days as mercenaries in Vietnam. And we see there was an incident which causes them to pledge allegiance to each other. So if you take one of them out, the next one's just going to come and continue the mission. So they're just not going to stop. So basically, they deal a pretty heavy blow to somebody in the trio. The booklet tells you everything, by the way, so if you want to go in blind, just watch the movie first. So then they have to join forces and essentially defeat the bad guys. Just solid all-around Hong Kong action film. A lot of stunts. I read in the booklet they talk about using wires and, you know, filming it a certain way. This was back before they could even digitally erase the wires. So, I mean, I did catch a wire here or there, but, you know, my eye kind of looks for that. But, you know, really good stunt work overall. The second film was actually made in 1985, a year earlier. I'm not sure of when they were released in Hong Kong, but this is directed by Corey Yuen, who was big time in Hong Kong martial arts films during the time. And this is produced by Sammo Hung. They were very close together, along with Jackie Chan. And Sammo Hung also has a cameo in this. And this one stars Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Rothrock. And then you also have three sort of comedy relief characters, aspirin, Panadol, and Strepsil. So those are all the names of medications. One of them is played by Sue Hark, who, of course, it's a pretty good picture of the three of them right there, who, of course, has directed many classic Hong Kong films himself. And there's some pretty good artwork of that dynamic duo there. Michelle Yeoh stars in this action drama as Senior Police Inspector Ng, assigned to work with Inspector Carrie Moss from Scotland Yard to investigate the murder of an agent from the Commercial Crime Bureau of London who was killed because of the evidence he has collected about a crime syndicate in Hong Kong. Yeah, so there's a pretty cold-blooded assassination in the beginning, and then what happens is, simultaneously with that, you have these low-level crooks just basically trying to rob people, and they unwittingly get a hold of this little microfilm that the assassins want, and they actually end up attaching it to the underside of a fake ID, because that's what this guy here does. His apartment is like a fake ID lab. It's a crazy set too, his whole apartment, because it's like there's like 3 levels, but there's like ladders and stairs and cages that move, because that lends itself to good fight scenes, I guess. So they don't know that. So the police sort of have to work with these 3 goofballs to defeat the bad guys in this one. And it's pretty good. I didn't like it as much as the first one, Royal Warriors, but it was definitely pretty good. There she is back in the day. What a fantastic career she's had. I'm glad that so many people recognize. She's always a very good actress. That's the one thing that came through in this. You know what I mean? Like when her character is hurting, you know, you can really see that. Okay, so yeah, Sammo Hung produced it. He has a cameo. This guy here, Richard Ng, he was often cast in comedy roles. They have like probably the worst fake gray hair you've ever seen in a movie, because they're supposed to be like old retired masters in a retirement home. So these 3 bumbling crooks go to them for advice. The whole scene is pretty much a throwaway scene. It doesn't need to be in the movie, but Sammo produced it, so it's pretty much harmless. It's like a couple minutes long. There you see some of the action there. Pretty good armored car chase. Yeah, very solid Hong Kong action. So I'm curious to see how the third and fourth will be, with stars who are not quite as well known, with Cynthia Khan sort of taking over, but also we've got Donnie Yen. Yeah, we'll have to check them out and see how they are, and that'll be 3 and 4 will be a separate review. All right, guys, thanks a lot, and I'll catch you next time.